We're ready to get this thing started, right? 7
All right,
o'clock?
hold on. Camera's on.
Camera's on. Welcome to another episode of A Minute with Tony Stone, and it's Tuesday, and my producer, Eric
Wait,
Timehatter.
It's never Tuesday.
Why do
We're
I
on
always say
Mondays.
Tuesday
We're on
every time? This is
Mondays.
the whole thing. It's Monday. I always want to skip Mondays. I don't know why. I always say
to
Tuesday.
be fair, fuck Mondays.
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. But welcome back. Whatever day it is, we are filming. It is Monday, not Tuesday, but we are filming A Minute with Tony Stone. And thanks for joining again and hanging there. We've got a ride for you today. Eric, my producer, sidekick, business partner, welcome. Thanks for making all this happen for us. But I'm going to jump right into it. So if you guys have been watching the news, unfortunately, there's been a tragic thing going on with two kids out there. We're going to pull up a picture in there. My producer will throw it up there. Wesley and Andrew. Wesley's 17, Andrew's 19. They were out on the Thermalito After Bay doing some duck hunting on December 14th. And, they ended up having an accident and ended up, disappearing, presumed to be drowned, presumed to be in the water. And here we are about 10 days, 9-10 days later.
Yeah.
They still haven't found these two boys. And it's pretty tragic, right? I mean, you go out there to have some fun with your brother, do some duck hunting, and the family's there, and just think it's a normal day, and it's not normal. It just it has turned up pretty tragic, and the fishing community's been pretty amazing. I'm sure the hunting, I don't know much about hunting. I'm sure from things I've heard, they've been avid fishermen and hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And but I know from the side that I'm involved in, the fishing side, is the fishing community's been great to pull together. I know several of the guides that have gone out there to help search for these boys, and we've gone out there. Anthony and I went out there on Sunday and did some searching, and we spent probably 8 hours out there. It was kind of interesting when we showed up. We were going to go right to the main dock there where the sheriffs are, and we get there and their security, they're not going to let us in, saying they're not letting any civilians in to help. And they're like, well, you can go on the other boat ramp, and it's across the way on the other side of the pond, lakes over there. And so we went over there. The challenge with that is, in order to get to where the search area has been going on, you have to go under this bridge, and this bridge is, I don't know, maybe 5 feet at most to get under. So we're putting the canopy down. We had the top up for in case it rained or whatever. But we had a few rods on the boat. We weren't sure what we were going to do with them, but we had a couple of fishing rods. Put everything down, and it was literally like 2 to 3 inches from the top of my window to get under that bridge. But we got under, and we started doing our patterns and searching. We searched for 8 hours with the down scan, side scan, and just looking at the graph, seeing what we could see. And it's a lot of weeds, a lot of grass in that area. And even with the electronics we have, and it's we don't have top-notch stuff, but it's decent. It works for fishing.
Yeah.
Don't know if it works for finding people, but we do see images. And one thing that for me was, I learned so much about my electronics in that 8 hours of settings, and how to make it better, how I could read it better. And we did see a few targets, and we did drop down a line with a hook on it to see what it was, if it would come up, not come up. And the 3 targets that we marked ended up being rocks. They weren't anything. And you can tell when you put the hook down there, you can feel the resistance, you can feel kind of the metal hitting the rock. Definitely not something soft or pull throughable or didn't even budge. And we got hung up a couple times. But we put everything we could do in there. And at the end of the day, it was getting late, and we decided to wrap it up. We saw at least 3 or 4 sheriff boats out there. I know 3 of the boats we saw with sheriffs had divers on them. There was another dive team out there with like a pontoon platform type boat that was out there. And then this Juan, I'm going to mispronounce his last name, Heredia, Heredia, has the team out there searching this bit, really involved with the dive teams. And so a lot of divers. And I've talked to several people in person. We actually saw the mom and dad when we were out there on Sunday, and it's it's just hard to, you start to get speechless. You start to kind of, get lost, but being there, seeing it, living it, watching it on the news is one thing, but to be out there, part of, what they're trying to do, it makes you realize how difficult this is. It's not like you're looking into a crystal clear water and you go, oh, there they are. There's a lot of factors. There's the currents, there's the winds, there's the weeds, there's the clarity of the water, there's the weather. It's just, there's so many things that have gone into this to
And that was a bad weather day that day too.
The day that they went missing, if I remember correctly, they had some heavy rains and some heavy winds. And, did that play a factor? I'm sure it played in a factor of them having the accident. But when I start thinking about where the boys are, is how much has that played into how far they drifted from that spot, right?
Right.
Is there a possibility they got into the channel that goes under the bridge and went to the other side? Because I know in our scanning, we definitely saw some clear space before the bridge, that, to the sides, there was a lot of weeds. It gets deeper, under that, before that bridge, and it didn't look like a ton of vegetation. Again, don't know if that's my sonar or what, but that's what we kind of seen. And that's a channel. When you look at an avionics or whatever, there's a kind of a deeper water channel. Did they get, pushed from the wind or whatever current into that deeper channel with all the rain and everything going on? Did that increase the currents and push them even further? Everybody I talk to says, no, that's not possible.
Right.
The weeds were going to hold them back, or whatever. So everybody's been concentrating on that one side. But, I know, I don't know as much as the guys out there doing the searching. I just know what I know. But I also know that sometimes you got to think outside the box, right? Things are solved by thinking creatively, thinking differently, just not the norm of this is what it should be. We got to start thinking what it shouldn't be, right? Where are they, where would they not be? And that's probably where they're going to be. I mean, it sounds weird, but
yeah, where you're searching for, where you think they are, they're not at. So
right.
Sometimes you just have to be like, where could it be impossible for them to be?
Right. And that's where my brain goes, because there's so many people searching, beating up that area, just beating up, going through. And I just know in the 8 hours that we were there and the amount of ground that we covered, and, again, we're not trained to look for bodies in our sonar. I'm looking at arches and, different shapes. But, so you take your knowledge, you apply it and do the best that you can. So I don't know if we were useful. I don't know if what we did made a difference, but we're trying to do our best. But there's a lot of people out there that do this, right? And they did beat up the same area, and they're coming up empty-handed. And so my brain goes to, well, maybe you got to think outside the box. Is this possible? And I would say, if it's possible, maybe we need to start search that other body of water and start going that direction. But, I don't know. And I know there's people that are leaving comments. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'm kind of babbling. Eric may pop through as we're talking if you see something that we should answer real quick. But yeah, it was definitely an experience doing this. It's funny, as I was going to film like we normally do when we go out in Old Farts fishing and do our normal filming that we do.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
No.
Put it on you, man.
I mean, these boys are out there, and it'd be really good to find them. These have answers to what happened, because like you told me earlier, one was able to call in and be like, hey, my brother's drowning. And obviously he went out to try to help his brother. But then what happened to them afterwards?
Right.
Like, that's what everyone wants to know.
So it's very emotional, as you can tell. I don't even know these kids.
Yeah.
I've got my own kids, and so a lot of things have happened since Sunday. I've heard the sheriff's called it off. A lot of negativity on Facebook about that. I've got my own opinions. I don't know. I think they did everything they could.
Yeah.
Doing it for the short period of time we did. it's like, how long do you expect the sheriff's department to be out there? We all feel and know, not that we want this to be the case, but it's a recovery mission at this point. If they're in the water, they're not alive. So how long do
Yeah.
you want the sheriffs to be out there doing the same thing every single day and coming up empty-handed?
Right.
So it's like, I get it, right? It's there's nothing more that they can offer other than keep doing the same thing. And this is
Right.
where the families step in, the volunteers step in, and that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing going on now. Is there's volunteers out there donating time and resources to go out there. There's GoFundMe set up, which link will be in this. There's a Venmo that there's posted in the group as well, that if you want to donate to help the divers spend, it costs money. I mean, James Powers went up there and I talked to him. He spent a good couple $100 just of his own money to go out there. I know when I filled my truck up and boat up and run it, I spent at least $125. It's not a lot of money when you look at it, but a lot of people don't have that money. But what I'm getting to is the volunteers and everybody, it costs money. And it doesn't cost a lot of money if everybody helps a little bit. What's that? Yeah. So you got that one. So Angels Recovery Dive Team, those are the guys that have been out there running boat after boat, just keep going. They're looking for donations to keep going. So you have a couple bucks, donate to Angel, to Juan. I believe it's Juan. His name is Juan. And this is what they do. They volunteer their time. They go out there and look for people because they have divers that go out there. So there's a link there. If you scan that, it'll be in the chat. There's also a GoFundMe the family has set up for expenses, for potentially funeral expenses or whatever they need to get people with volunteers to come out. And I've had a few people say, well, it's the holidays, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. Are you getting a Starbucks coffee? $6, $5, whatever it is for, I don't drink Starbucks, but whatever it is for a drink, you're going to go eat that fast food. They're not asking for hundreds of dollars. I've got 2,600 followers on Facebook on my Old Farts Fishing page. If every person were to give just $1, these guys would meet their goal.
Yeah.
So reach your pockets. Do say $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's $26,000 by $10. I mean, so $10 goes a long way. And that's what these guys are looking for, is a little support to bring their kids home for the holidays, right? To get them home, have closure. I think we all know what the outcome is. It's tragic, but the family still needs closure.
Right.
So
need to go find them.
Need to find them.
Yeah.
So sorry I lost my shit for a little bit, but I'm not usually that way. Actually, I know you're a big crybaby, but it's tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
So help them out. The links will be there. I'm going to share as much as I possibly can. I will be talking to Anthony. We may to potentially go back out there again to see what we can do to help. I did learn more about my graph. I've been doing a lot more research on different things if they're not found. I definitely want to spread the word as much as I can through social media and through the things that I do with all the different platforms that I reach. And I thought this was a huge way I could help and give back by promoting and just getting the word out. I can reach thousands of people doing this versus a couple hundred people I see face to face. So that's one reason why I figured this was a good topic for the podcast, is to help get the word out. So please help donate. It's for a good cause. Bring those kids home. So, all right.
Yep.
I think I've beat that up enough tonight. Got a little emotional. I'm kind of getting my shit together now. Sometimes a safety meeting just is not strong enough to maintain. So,
or it's too strong.
Feel
too much, man.
It's not too much, but thank you guys that joined in just for that part of the podcast. April Clark has got her GoFundMe out there. There'll be a link on this in the comments. It's already in the event page, so you should be able to go see that. All I'm asking is $1. It's stupid. I mean, you guys are spending $200 in fishing tournaments and gear, and it's less than one goddamn lure. Reach in your pocket, pull $10 out, make a donation on one of these links. I'm probably making a couple $100 donations from Blue Dream Productions, one of my businesses, to get it out there. So I'll be reaching deep, this week. Yes, I got Christmas just like you guys do. I'm not asking you to give a couple $100. I'm saying give them a couple dollars.
It's all about volume, not whole amounts.
Yeah.
So every little bit helps.
Yeah, and don't get me. I mean, I'm religious. I wear my cross every day, believe in whatever God you want to believe in, but prayers, honestly, are going to take you too far. In this case, prayers make you feel good. The prayers aren't going to help here. We need boots on the ground. We need resources, reaching those pockets. Feel like a fucking infomercial at this point.
Good.
Just for $1 a day. No.
Yep.
Anyway.
But I mean, that's all it takes. You just need a little bit of help here and there, and things get done to help the better cause.
Right. So, off my soapbox. Thanks for watching. We're going to continue, though. We're not ending. We're just going to move on to some other things. I just want people to know, if you want to hang out and hear about what the Minute with Stony Stone podcast is about, you may be pleasantly surprised, or you may be going, what the hell did I just watch?
Or they're going to be running away very quickly.
It's like, I'll never get this time back.